When I think of God's generosity, my giving, our stewardship campaign theme, I'm struck by God's generosity to me. In occurrences that I can only explain as extraordinary, that I can't find to be the result of human efforts. I share 3 of these occurrences this morning simply to tell you why we pledge not to say that I'm someone who's more deserving than anybody else of God's generosity. The first of these occurrences was when I was 3. I was rushed to the hospital after spilling a pot of boiling hot water on myself, scalding myself from the neck down. Doctors thought my 3rd-degree burns would require skin grafts. But while I was hospitalized, my mother said a stranger came to the door and said I would be fine because there was a prayer group praying for me. When the doctors removed the bandages to prepare for the skin grafts, my skin wasn't even discolored. You couldn't tell I was scalded. The doctors were unable to explain how or why I didn't need skin grafts. I went home the same day. The second event was when I was 20 years old. I rolled over the car I was driving, swerving to avoid a head-on collision at 60 miles per hour. The roof of the car pancaked down to the doors, trapping me and my 2 friends inside the upended car. We tried desperately to open the doors to get out, but both doors were jammed. We smelled gasoline and we began to scream for help, fearful the car would catch on fire. After several minutes, another driver who had stopped pried open the driver's door, and the 3 of us crawled out. My 2 friends and I only had minor cuts and bruises. Being 20, it didn't occur to me that something more than luck had kept me and my 2 friends alive. The third was the birth of our daughter, Emily, born prematurely in 1981. There were complications that resulted in Emily being unresponsive. She was rushed to Children's Hospital, where she would be in a coma for the next 5 weeks. About the 3rd week, the doctors gave us a grim prognosis. It was likely Emily had suffered brain damage, and she would never be able to function normally. They inferred it might be better not to resuscitate Emily when she periodically stopped breathing. But a friend counseled us to wait, and we did, and unexplainably, Emily woke up. In 2005, Emily graduated from the College of Charleston with a bachelor's degree. This year she completed a certificate at GW's graduate school, and the biggest miracle is she's worked for full time for 8 years. This last reason was the reason that Claudia and I accepted Rosemary Colston's invitation to join St. Mark, and why we pledge. I think if you examine your life with the eyes of faith, you'll find occurrences of God's generosity in your life. Those with eyes to see God's infinite generosity, and yes, even miracles.